The last thing I heard before I died was my family laughing. Not crying, not calling my name, laughing. My hand shook around the phone, while blood ran warm beneath my shirt. "Dad," I whispered. "Please, just listen to me." Then Gregory Vance sighed. "You're doing this again? I'm dying. Stop. I'm serious. You were serious when you accused Tristan too. Someone forced me off the road. Enough." "Dad, the financial records were forged. I was meeting someone with the originals." He went quiet for 1 second. Hope hurt worse than the broken ribs. Then he said, "Tonight is Tristan's heir celebration. I won't let you poison it with another lie." My throat closed. Behind him, Bianca laughed. "Is that him?" she asked. "Yes. Tell him nobody believes him." I heard every word. "Bianca," I choked out. She came closer to the phone. "You stole millions, blamed Tristan, humiliated Dad, and made Alara cry. What do you want now? Sympathy?" "I didn't steal anything. You always hated that Tristan was better than you." "He isn't better. He set me up." "Oh, please." Another voice cut through the noise. "Alara, my fiancé, or former fiancé. Give me the phone." My fingers tightened. "Alara?" Her voice was colder than the rain dripping through the wreck. "I returned your ring this morning. Don't call me like nothing changed." "I know." "Then why are you calling?" "Because I need someone to believe me." Silence. I swallowed blood. "Just once." She breathed out slowly. "I believed you for years. And now I believe the evidence. Tristan made that evidence." "Adrian, stop." My name sounded like a burden in her mouth. I closed my eyes. Hours earlier, I had stood in my father's study while documents covered the desk. Transfers, authorizations, signatures. All mine. All fake. Gregory had slammed one page against my chest. "Explain this." "I can't explain a crime I didn't commit. You approved every transfer." "No. Someone copied my credentials." Tristan had stood beside the fireplace, pale and wounded. I told Uncle Gregory we should hear Adrian out. I had turned on him. "Don't pretend. Adrian, you did this." His eyes widened perfectly. "Why would I?" "Because you wanted my position." Bianca had stepped between us. "You're obsessed with him." "I'm telling the truth." Mother looked at me with disgust. "Then prove it." "I need time." "You've already embarrassed us enough," Helena said. "Confess quietly." I stared at her. "You think I stole from my own company?" "Our company," Gregory corrected. That had been the moment I understood. I was already outside the family. Alara removed my engagement ring. She placed it on the desk. "I can't marry someone I don't trust." "Alara, look at me." "I am." "No. Look at me." Her eyes finally met mine. I asked, "Do you believe Tristan over me?" She hesitated. That hesitation killed something. Then she whispered, "Yes." Back inside the wreck, I heard celebration through the phone. Someone shouted, "To Tristan Vance." Applause followed. My father said, "I'm ending this call." "Dad." "Goodbye, Adrian." "Wait." The line died. I stared at the dark screen. So that was it. I had spent my entire life protecting people who could celebrate while I bled alone. My breathing slowed. The rain softened, and then everything disappeared. When I opened my eyes, warm light burned above me. I gasped and grabbed my chest. No blood. No broken ribs. No wreck. A dining table stretched before me. Crystal glasses. White plates. My mother's favorite silver candles. I knew this room. I knew this night. "Adrian?" Bianca frowned across the table. "You look sick." I stared at her. 3 years younger. Alive. Still smiling at me like she hadn't watched my life collapse. My heart slammed against my ribs. Gregory cleared his throat. As I was saying, Tristan will temporarily oversee the Northbridge division. I froze. Northbridge. The beginning. In my first life, I had argued for 2 hours. I had called Tristan unqualified. Bianca called me jealous. Mother called me selfish. Alara begged me to stop making a scene. That fight became the first crack Tristan later widened until everyone hated me. Gregory looked annoyed. "Do you have something to say?" Every face turned toward me. Tristan lowered his eyes. I don't want Adrian to feel replaced. Same words. Same fake humility. In my first life, I had exploded. This time, I smiled. Yes, I said. Bianca blinked. Gregory leaned back. Well, I slipped the Vance signet ring from my finger. The heavy gold had once meant everything to me. I placed it in front of Tristan. His smile vanished. Why temporary? I asked. Give him my position permanently. Nobody moved. Mother whispered. Adrian? Tristan stared at the ring. I don't understand. You wanted responsibility. I never said. Take it. Gregory's eyes narrowed. What game are you playing? No game. I lifted my glass. Tristan can have Northbridge. He can have the title too. Ilara touched my arm. You fought for that division for years. I know. Then why are you giving it away? Because Northbridge was already rotting from inside. Because in my first life, I discovered hidden debts, falsified supplier contracts, and a regulatory trap buried under layers of accounting. I spent 11 months fixing it. Nobody ever knew. Tristan received the praise afterward. This time he could receive everything else too. I looked at my father. And tomorrow, I'll sign away my claim to the Vance inheritance. The room went dead. Gregory stood. You will do no such thing. I will. Bianca laughed nervously. You're being dramatic. No. Tristan finally spoke. Adrian, if this is because of me, it is. His face tightened. I smiled wider. I want you to have exactly what you deserve. For the first time, he looked uncertain. Good. I stood. Ilara caught my wrist. Where are you going? To sleep. Adrian, you just gave away your future. I gently removed her hand. No. I looked at Tristan. I gave away his. I walked out before anyone could stop me. My phone vibrated in my pocket. Unknown number. A photograph loaded. My blood turned cold. Twisted metal. Broken windshield. My car. The wreck that would kill me 3 years from now. Under it were 6 words. So you came back this time. The photograph stayed open on my phone long after I left the dining room. Twisted metal. Broken glass. My blood. The image was taken from above, at an angle no rescue worker would have used. Whoever sent it had been there before anyone else came. I stood alone in the hallway, staring until my hands started shaking. Then I called the number. A recorded voice answered. The number you have dialed does not exist. I called again. Same message. A third time. Nothing. Someone knew I had died. Someone knew I had come back. And somehow, that terrified me more than death itself. I slipped the phone into my pocket and walked out of the mansion. 3 years ago, I would have gone upstairs, argued with my father, begged Ilara to understand me, and spent the night trying to protect what belonged to me. Not this time. I drove to the only person I had no right to call. Darius Cole answered on the 4th ring. Adrian. Yeah. A pause. I thought rich people forgot how phones worked. I deserve that. You deserve worse. I know. That silenced him. Where are you? Outside your apartment. His curtain moved. Seconds later, the door opened. Darius stared at me. You look terrible. Good to see you too. No. Seriously. What happened? I made mistakes. With me. With everyone. He folded his arms. Your father finally kicked you out? I left. That's new. I looked at him. Darius, I'm sorry. His expression changed. For what part? For choosing my family's image over you. You told me friendship with me was becoming inconvenient. I know. You stopped answering calls. I know. You missed my mother's funeral. That one hit hardest. I lowered my eyes. I know. Darius stepped back. If you came here to feel better about yourself, leave. I came because I trust you. That's funny. I don't blame you for hating me. I don't hate you. Then what? I stopped caring. I nodded. That's worse. He stared at me for several seconds. What do you want? Help separating everything I own from the Vance family. His eyebrows rose. Everything. My accounts. Documents. Investments. Legal access. All of it. Why? Because staying connected to them is going to destroy me. He studied my face. You sound like you already watched it happen. My chest tightened. Can you help? Darius finally opened the door wider. Come in. The next morning, Gregory called. Get to headquarters. No. Silence. What did you say? I said no. Northbridge has a problem. That sounds like Tristan's problem. The Kessler contract is collapsing. I remembered it instantly. A shipping dispute. Currency exposure. 2 impossible deadlines. In my first life, Gregory had ordered me to fix everything quietly. I worked 3 nights without sleep. Tristan stood beside him at the press conference afterward. My father called Tristan brilliant. Adrian, Gregory snapped, you negotiated the original deal. Yes. So fix it. No. His voice dropped. Do not test me. I'm not testing you. You gave Tristan control. Temporary control. I made it permanent. You don't decide that. You accepted my ring. You were being emotional. No. I was being generous. He hung up. By noon, I was back at the mansion because Helena demanded a family meeting. Tristan looked exhausted. Bianca looked furious. Mother pointed at me. You're enjoying this. I'm eating lunch. You know what I mean. Then say it. You're punishing Tristan. I looked at him. Am I? Tristan sighed. I never asked Uncle Gregory to force you, but you'll accept the rescue. I'm trying to save the company. So save it. Bianca slammed her hand on the table. You're unbelievable. Probably. Tristan deserves to be the real heir more than you ever did. I smiled. Then he should handle real heir problems. Adrian, Helena shouted. Ilara stood near the window. She had barely looked at me. Finally, she spoke. Can we talk privately? No. Her eyes widened. Excuse me? Whatever you want to say it here. She walked closer. You embarrassed Tristan last night. I gave him my position. You mocked him. He survived. This isn't funny. I agree. She lowered her voice. Apologized publicly. I almost laughed. For what? For making everyone think you wanted him to fail. I do want him to fail. Tristan stared at me. Ilara went pale. You don't mean that. I do. If you refuse to apologize, I'll reconsider our engagement. The room went silent. In my first life, those words would have terrified me. I would have begged, promised, changed myself. Instead, I removed the engagement ring from my finger. I placed it in her palm. Then, don't reconsider. Her lips parted. Adrian, marry whoever you actually trust. She said nothing. For once, neither did anyone else. 3 days later, Kessler canceled the contract. The loss hit every financial network before breakfast. $28 million vanished in a morning. Gregory stood in his office, staring at Tristan. You told me it was under control. Tristan swallowed. I thought. You thought. I watched my father's expression change. Not anger. Doubt. For the first time, he saw Tristan as something less than perfect. It should have felt satisfying. It did. For about 10 minutes. Then Darius called. Adrian, get here now. I found him with a woman named Celine Archer surrounded by printed records. Celine pushed one file toward me. Someone created shell companies using your identity. My stomach dropped. When? Years ago. That's impossible. It started before you joined Vance Corporation. I looked at Darius. He looked just as disturbed. Celine tapped one transaction. This account later received money connected to the scandal you're worried about. My mouth went dry. Who authorized it? She turned the page. A signature appeared at the bottom. I recognized it instantly. I had seen that handwriting on birthday cards my entire life. Darius whispered, Adrian. I couldn't answer, because the first account ever created to destroy me had been authorized by my mother, Helena Vance. The document trembled in my hand. My mother sat across from me in the morning room, composed, until I placed the paper on the table. Her face went white. Where did you get this? So she knew it. I leaned forward. That's your signature. Helena looked down again. Nathaniel, is it yours? Yes. The answer hit harder than denial would have. You signed the first account used to build the case against me. I didn't know that. Then what did you know? She pressed her fingers to her temple. Your father brought me papers years ago. How many? I don't remember. You signed financial documents without reading them? It wasn't like that. Then tell me what it was like. Her eyes lifted to mine. I saw fear. After what happened to you, Gregory handled everything. I went still. What happened to me? She swallowed. Nathaniel, what do you actually remember about being 8 years old? The question felt wrong. Too careful. I remember school. Which school? I opened my mouth. Nothing came. I remember my room. What color was it? Again, nothing. My pulse quickened. I remember Dad. Doing what? I stared at her. Blank. Not fuzzy. Blank. I pushed back from the table. Why can't I remember? Mother stood. Sit down. No. Tell me. I was going to. Going to what? The door opened. Tristan stepped inside. Uncle Gregory said. His eyes fell to the paper in my hand. For half a second, his face changed. The softness disappeared. Recognition. Then it was gone. What's that? He asked. I folded the document. Nothing important. Mother stared at me. I smiled. You're right. I'm probably overreacting. Tristan relaxed. That was enough. I left before either could stop me. Darius was waiting at Celine's office. You look like you saw a ghost. I saw something worse. Celine closed the door. What happened? My mother admitted the signature. Darius cursed. She knew. She claims my father gave her papers after something happened when I was 8. Celine leaned forward. What happened? I don't know. Darius frowned. You don't remember? I barely remember being 8. Silence. Celine's expression hardened. Then we investigate your childhood. How? Hospital records. School records. Travel history. Anything your family forgot to erase. Darius looked at me. And Tristan? He recognized the document. Celine narrowed her eyes. You're sure? I watched his face. Then don't confront him. I won't. This time, I would let them think I knew nothing. Meanwhile, Tristan kept drowning. By the end of the week, 3 investors demanded explanations. One senior manager resigned after discovering a strategy Tristan presented as his own had been written by me 2 years earlier. Gregory called me 6 times. I answered the 7th. What? You need to come in? No. Stop saying that. Stop asking. Nathaniel, employees are questioning Tristan. Then he should answer them. You could stabilize this. I could. Then do it. No. His silence was satisfying. You're letting the company suffer. I'm letting your chosen heir lead. He hung up. That afternoon, Ilara came to my apartment. Her eyes were red. I need to tell you something. I almost closed the door. Instead, I stepped aside. She held her phone tightly. Tristan showed me messages. What messages? Messages supposedly from you. My jaw tightened. What did they say? That you were seeing someone else. That you planned to take the inheritance and leave me. And you believed them. I did. Why? She looked down. Because he showed screenshots. Dates. Details. So Tristan handed you proof. And that was enough. Nathaniel, one was fake. I stopped. How do you know? The timestamp was wrong. It showed a message sent while you were with me. My stomach turned. He fabricated it. Yes. And now you're here. Tears filled her eyes. I made a terrible mistake. You made a choice. I was manipulated. You still chose. She stepped closer. Can we try again? It hurt. Some piece of me still remembered loving her. But love no longer felt like surrender. No. Her lips trembled. Nathaniel, I hope you find peace, Ilara. But it won't be with me. She left crying. I stayed standing after the door closed. Losing her still hurt. It just didn't know me anymore. That evening, I returned to the mansion because Edmund Vance had come home. My grandfather had been overseas for treatment. The moment he saw me, he demanded answers. You surrendered your inheritance? Yes. He turned toward Gregory. You let Nathaniel walk away? My father's face changed. Fear, not anger. Come with me, grandfather said. He led me into his private study and locked the door. Then he opened a safe. Inside were 3 things: a hospital bracelet, a sealed letter, and an old photograph. He handed me the bracelet. My name was printed across it. Nathaniel Vance. Age 8. My hands went cold. Then I looked at the photograph. 2 boys lay in the same hospital room. One was me. The other was Tristan. I stared at grandfather. That's impossible. No. They told me Tristan entered this family when I was 12. Grandfather's expression darkened. Because Tristan didn't enter this family when you were 12, Nathaniel. He turned the photograph over. A date was written across the back. 17 years ago. He was already here before you disappeared. My chest tightened. Before I what? Edmund closed his eyes. You vanished when you were 8. I couldn't breathe. For how long? 11 months. And when I came back, you remembered almost nothing. I stared at the bracelet. The empty spaces in my childhood felt enormous. Then grandfather placed the sealed letter in my hands. Before you open that, understand something. What? If you read that letter, you may never call Gregory and Helena your parents again. I looked at the seal, then tore it open. The first line destroyed whatever remained of my old life. Nathaniel, if you are reading this, then your parents have chosen Tristan over you for the second time. I expected Edmund's letter to tell me Tristan had stolen my identity. It told me something worse. My father had helped create the reason Tristan existed in my life at all. I read the first page twice before I could breathe normally. 17 years ago, Gregory had made a reckless deal that nearly destroyed Vance Corporation. A business partner discovered what he had done and threatened to expose him. Then I was taken, not for money, for silence. I looked at grandfather. They kidnapped me because of Dad. My fingers tightened. What did Gregory do? He moved money without board approval. He thought he could replace it before anyone noticed. And when he couldn't, the partner threatened prison and collapse. So Dad chose silence. He chose fear. And I paid for it. Edmund looked away. Yes. Edmund's jaw tightened. Yes. And Tristan? His father helped find you. I stared at him. Helped. He died during the rescue. The room went cold. Grandfather continued. Helena blamed herself. Gregory blamed himself. They promised Tristan's father they would protect his son. So they brought Tristan into the family. Yes. And told me nothing. You came home unable to remember most of what happened. I laughed once bitterly. So they decided lying was easier. They decided you had suffered enough. No. They decided what I was allowed to know. Edmund lowered his eyes. I kept reading. The truth became uglier with every paragraph. My parents' guilt toward Tristan became protection. Protection became favoritism. And I became the child expected to understand. The real son. The forgiving son. The one who could sacrifice because blood supposedly made forgiveness automatic. I looked up. They thought I would always forgive them. Edmund said nothing. That's why Tristan got every second chance. Yes. And I got every responsibility. Yes. I almost tore the letter in half. Then I reached the next section. My hand stopped. Tristan knew? Grandfather nodded. For years. The letter explained that Gregory had created a private compensation fund for Tristan. Enough money to guarantee him a comfortable life. Tristan discovered it before he turned 18. But money had not satisfied him. He wanted my place, my name, my future. I called Darius immediately. Get Celine. His voice sharpened. What happened? I know why Tristan hates me. That sounds bad. It's worse. 2 hours later, we covered Celine's office with records. She tapped a line on her screen. This shell company links to Tristan's private device. Darius leaned closer. You're sure? Completely. I felt strangely calm. What else? Celine opened another folder. The messages Alara received were fabricated through an account he controlled. Darius swore. And the business failures? Several were deliberate. I stared at her. Explain. He created problems inside divisions you managed, then waited for you to repair them. I understood instantly. Then he presented my solutions publicly. Yes. Darius looked sick. You made him look brilliant without knowing it. No, I said. I knew I was helping him. They both looked at me. I just thought I was helping my family. That realization hurt more. Celine closed the file. One thing still doesn't fit. The photograph. She nodded. Whoever sent it knew about your death before it happened. Before we could continue, my phone rang. Bianca. I answered. Grandfather collapsed. Everything else disappeared. At the hospital, Gregory was already shouting. What did you say to him? I stopped. What? Tristan stood beside him, with perfect concern on his face. He thinks you pressured grandfather, Bianca said quietly. Tristan shook his head. I only told Uncle Gregory what I saw. I turned to him. What did you see? You leaving grandfather's study with legal documents. So, you surrendered the inheritance, then suddenly started meeting him privately. Gregory, step closer. Were you trying to take control of the company? No. Don't lie to me. I almost laughed. You have remarkable timing when accusing me of lying. Helena looked exhausted. Nathaniel, please. Elara stood farther down the corridor. She said nothing. Then Bianca spoke. Dad, stop. Everyone turned. Gregory frowned. What? I checked the old records. Tristan's expression changed. Only slightly. I noticed. Bianca looked at me. You paid my debts. I stayed silent. My university loan. The lawsuit from that club incident. The private settlement after I crashed the car. Her voice cracked. I thought Tristan handled those. Tristan stepped forward. Bianca. No. She looked at him. You let me thank you. I never said. You never corrected me. For the first time, doubt replaced worship in her eyes. Then a man approached carrying a sealed legal file. Silas Mercer. Edmund's lawyer. Gregory stiffened. Why are you here? Silas looked at all of us. Edmund anticipated this situation. Tristan actually laughed. What situation? The question of succession. Tristan gestured toward me. Nathaniel already surrendered his inheritance. Whatever grandfather planned no longer matters. Silas looked directly at him. That's precisely why it changes everything. Nobody spoke. He opened the file. Edmund created a clause years ago. If Nathaniel voluntarily surrendered his claim without compensation, coercion, or negotiation, another provision would activate. My father went pale. I stared at Silas. What provision? He believed the only worthy heir would be the one willing to leave the money behind. Tristan's smile disappeared. Silas continued. By walking away, you did not lose Edmund's trust. He lifted another document. You proved you were the only one who never needed the inheritance to remain a Vance. Before he could explain more, my phone rang. Celine. I answered immediately. Tell me. Her voice was urgent. I traced the number. My pulse jumped. The photograph? Yes. Who owns it? Silence. Then she said, the number was registered under Gregory Vance's private corporate account. I slowly lowered the phone. Across the corridor, my father saw my face. Something inside him broke. I walked toward him. Dad. He stepped back. I hadn't asked anything yet, but he already knew. His voice dropped to a whisper. Nathaniel, your death wasn't supposed to happen that night. Gregory could barely look at me. What do you mean my death wasn't supposed to happen? The hospital corridor became silent. Finally, my father whispered, I knew Tristan was moving money through accounts connected to your name. Helena gasped. You knew. I discovered it too late. I stepped closer. How late? Before the accusations became public. My stomach turned. You knew I was innocent. Yes. And you said nothing. Gregory closed his eyes. If I exposed Tristan, investigators would have uncovered everything. The old accounts. My illegal transfers. What happened 17 years ago? So you sacrificed me. I thought I could fix it. I laughed bitterly. How? I arranged for someone to scare you. My blood went cold. The truck. His silence answered me. You ordered that? Not the crash. Never the crash. You were supposed to be frightened into leaving the country. I was going to bury the scandal while you disappeared. I stared at him. And when I died, his voice cracked. I discovered Tristan had changed parts of the plan. Did you clear my name? Gregory looked down. No. That answer destroyed whatever remained between us. Why? Because exposing everything would have destroyed Vance Corporation. I nodded slowly. Tristan had built the weapon, but my family had handed it to him. Helena started crying. Nathaniel, I didn't know. You knew enough. I thought protecting Tristan was repaying a debt. And what was I? My son. Exactly. My voice remained calm. You believed your real son would always forgive you. Bianca stepped toward me. I'm sorry. Elara wiped her tears. So am I. I looked at her. she whispered, believing Tristan was easier than standing beside you. At least you finally understand. Gregory reached for me. Give me one chance. I stepped away. No, Nathaniel. I don't hate you. His face crumpled. That's worse. No, it's freedom. I looked at all of them. I can forgive you someday without returning to you. The emergency shareholder meeting began that afternoon. Tristan entered confidently. That confidence disappeared when he saw Celine beside Darius. What are they doing here? I sat quietly. Gregory said nothing. Celine stood. I provided the board with records connecting Tristan Vance to multiple shell companies. Tristan laughed. Fabricated. Darius placed another folder down, then explained the original transaction records. Tristan turned toward me. You planned this. No. You've hated me since childhood. Ilara stood. He fabricated messages too. Tristan froze. Ilara, you made me believe Nathaniel was cheating. That's not true. I verified the timestamps. Bianca spoke next. And you took credit for everything Nathaniel did for me. Bianca, listen. I spent years listening. Her voice broke. Now I'm looking. Tristan's mask finally cracked. Then Silas Mercer opened Edmund's legal file. There is another matter. Tristan scoffed. Nathaniel surrendered his inheritance. Correct. So he has nothing. Silas smiled faintly. Edmund designed the trust specifically for that possibility. Every shareholder went quiet. Silas continued. Nathaniel surrendered his personal inheritance voluntarily before learning its true value. That activated Edmund's protected voting trust. I stared at him. What does that mean? You now control enough voting power to determine executive control of Vance Corporation. Gregory closed his eyes. Tristan stood abruptly. No. Everyone looked at me. They expected me to take the chair. I didn't. My first decision as controlling trustee is to authorize an independent investigation. Tristan's face drained. Second, Gregory and Tristan are removed from executive authority pending its conclusion. My father lowered his head. And third, professional management will take control. A board member frowned. You don't want the position? No. Tristan slammed both hands against the table. Liar. I looked at him. You planned everything, he shouted. You wanted my life. I stood and walked toward him. Then I removed the Vance signet ring from Silas's evidence folder and placed it between us. No, Tristan, that was the difference between us. You spent your life trying to become me. I pushed the ring toward him. I spent my second life learning I never needed to be a Vance at all. He stared at me. For once, Tristan had nothing to say. The investigation exposed everything. His shell companies, his forged records, his manipulation. Gregory lost control of the empire he had sacrificed me to protect. Months passed. Darius and I started our own financial consulting company. Celine stayed close. Not as some miraculous new love. Not yet. I simply learned to trust her one conversation at a time. Some nights, I still woke hearing metal crushing around me. But morning always came, and my life was mine. Before Edmund left the hospital, I visited him. He held the signet ring. Do you want this back? I shook my head. He smiled. Then he looked through the window. Gregory, Helena, Bianca, and Ilara were waiting outside. What if your family finally chooses you now? In my first life, I would have given everything to see them there. Now I simply smiled. They were allowed to choose, Grandpa. I turned toward the exit. So was I. I spent my first life begging my family to choose their real son over a fake heir. When I was reborn, I finally gave them exactly what they wanted. They chose Tristan, and I chose myself.